this is not every path in real estate investing, but these are the main ones, right? These are the main ones for most of us where we can get started, where we can see an entry point today and start taking steps today to build the business that you're looking for. Okay? Is there anyone that's in here right now that knows they want to get into real estate or currently are in real estate in a different path that's not on this screen? I'd love for you to shout it out if you are, because we could talk about it. Great. That means my PowerPoint is going to answer all of these for everyone. There's nobody that's missing, so that's fantastic. Total inclusion. All right, so just big picture, and y'all, if what I say doesn't make sense, just let me know. But wholesaling, I'll define it a little bit better later, but wholesaling is the art of getting a discounted deal and then selling it to someone else for a little bit more. Okay? You're still selling at a wholesale price. So your end buyer is typically another investor. Okay, that's wholesaling in a nutshell. Owning rentals. You have short, you have mid, you have long-term rentals. Each one of those sections has different needs, different requirements, different expectations. But ultimately, you own an asset that you rent out and someone pays you monthly. Okay, it pays you a dividend. Flipping houses. Everybody's seen HGTV, right? Y'all get it? You know that? You buy a discount house, you put some investment into it, and you sell it ultimately to an end user that is probably retail. Okay, so you would sell it for a profit, ideally. Creative deal finding, what is that? That is what it sounds like, where you are actually kind of putting some pieces together, maybe using owner financing that we just talked about, maybe an installment sale, subject to lots of just putting pieces of deals together that takes a little bit more time and effort, but ultimately not necessarily extra money. Okay, that's how I'm going to define this little niche. There could be other definitions for it, but that's what we're going to use today. Private money lending. Does everybody know what that is? Anybody, any private money lenders in here? Sweet, I'll see you in a minute. Great, okay. Private money lending, using your money to help it grow little baby monies, okay? You lend your money out and you get interest back, okay? Real estate agent, we didn't do this. How many real estate agents do we have in here? Just so everybody sees you. Good, we've got a couple in here, just so you guys know. We have some here. Real estate agent, you guys, most of y'all probably understand what that is. So we'll talk more about that. Property management, that's Bishop back there. Sorry, I missed you earlier. But property management is a way to get into real estate, okay? And then passive limited partnerships. I'll define this one for you. I won't ask. But what this means is when you are a limited partner in deals, and this could be like a syndication where it's 100 or 200 or 300 unit apartment, or it could just be like a duplex. You're a limited partner. You don't do the heavy lifting or the work, but you're getting returns from that, okay? One that I don't think is here, but also partnering or participating in a fund, like a real estate fund. So you're putting your money into a fund where someone else is then going to work with it. We got the Rehab Wallet people know all about this. So if you have more questions about that, we have some experts in the room on this. All right. So we have all these paths coming out. Okay. You can start on the road to real estate. How many people in here have never done a deal at all? This is like your first sticking your toe in the water. No deals done. Got a couple. Good. So you're on this road. And unfortunately, who was I just talking to? Ted. Ted was just telling me about a deal, a house that he had wholesaled 2 years ago that's now come back around, somebody trying to sell it to him, because the person that bought it had no idea what they were doing. They got on this road and they just jumped to fix and flip without the education, without the experience, without the connections. And now that person's going back to someone like Ted, who's a home buyer, and they're not fix and flipping. They're just dumping. They're broke and dumping. Okay. And we don't want to be those people. We don't want to be the ones that broke the house and destroyed it and now we got to dump it for a loss. Okay. So when you get in this spot, you're here in this room, you are investigating real estate. You're looking it up. You're watching YouTube channels and your podcasts are all about real estate. Now's the time to be looking at specialized education that can take you to your path. Okay? Does that make sense? What we don't like seeing, and we talk about it at Coffee and Cash Flow, I feel like at least every other month, we don't like seeing those properties that hit the MLS where clearly a fix and flipper bought it, ran out of money, or just didn't know what they were doing, spent every dollar that they had, and it's still not fixed. And they have to sell it at a loss. Somebody's working on one of those right now. Julian was working on right now. It's on the MLS, and this person is selling it at a big loss because they just didn't get that education that would take them to a successful fix and flipper. Okay? So if I had to tell one thing that's going to help you thrive in 25, it's picking that spot and learning about it, getting the education that can get you there. Okay? This education is not in schools. Okay? It's not at USC or Midlands Tech or Benedict or whatever. This education comes from this. Getting connected, doing the deals, doing the business, and learning from specialized teachers. Okay? All right. So get a piece of paper out. Everyone has a different starting point. Okay? Everyone has a different goal, a different end zone. So what we're going to look at, and I know you guys have no idea what this is. I made this. It's a pretty graph on my Excel. On this, whatever. Okay? Just bear with me. All right. So when we do the deal partners, we tell people if you have $50,000, you can, if you have access to $50,000, meaning lines of credit, borrow against your 401k, credit cards, anything like that. If you have access to that capital, then you can jump into this business and you would be on the right side, which, I know this doesn't work. You'd be on that side of the graph, okay? Because you can start by flipping houses. Now, you're not going to buy it all cash and renovate it all cash. You're going to get connected with a lender, okay? But at $50K, you have enough capital to get that down payment, to fund your contractors, to get your rehab draws put in, all right? If you're on the left of $50K, you're probably looking at one of these ideas, okay? All right, so what I want y'all to do right now, and do it, you can do it in small print so your neighbors aren't copying or cheating off of you. Up and down, we have our hours to give to this business, okay? Across the middle, that's about 15 hours a week, all right? So, I'm going to give you all, like, I wish, Michelle, that we could do Jeopardy music right now. I'm just going to give you like 30 seconds. What I want you to think about, and to really think, and if you're here with a partner or a spouse or whatever, like, talk about it. It's fine. But where are you? What are you prepared and willing and able to invest in real estate right now as a business, financially, and then time? How many hours a week can you do it? Look at that. I didn't even. You're really good in there. Perfect. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Get rid of it. All right. So, y'all, everyone in here has got a different answer. I'm not going to ask you what your answer is. I need you to know what your answer is. Okay? What's important for me to hopefully instill in you guys is that it doesn't matter. Because every one of these can be a successful business. We live in America. I'm so thankful that we are here because we can talk about this stuff. Do we have issues in America? Yeah. Every one of you has started at a different place, right? Obviously, politics is going crazy right now. You've got, men and women, white and black, city, farm, whatever it is, New York to Florida. Everybody has a different starting point. But if you decide where you are now, start today and pick a direction, you can get there. All right? That's the beauty of this. So it doesn't matter where you are right now. If you make the decision and you decide that you're going to get to your end zone, then you will start making those hard decisions and making those sacrifices to get there. If you don't believe that you can get there, if you don't believe that you can be a successful flipper or that you can retire your parents or whatever, if you don't believe that, then you're not going to sacrifice for it. You're not going to take this 50 grand and invest it into your business. Okay? So that's the decision that y'all have to make. No one else can make that for you. All right? And if you're ready to do that, then pay attention. We'll talk about these different options. All right? So if you're on the left side, you've got 20 grand available or $0 available, and you're just trying to get started, start. That's your spot. Someone else was in that spot yesterday and they took a step. All right? So don't let another day go by where you look at it and say, maybe tomorrow. Okay? If you're at $0 or $100,000, whatever that is, start. Okay? Or take the next step, because everybody's got a different spot. All right. Let's talk about the difference between active and passive roles in this business. Now, what do I mean by active? Somebody give me an answer for that. Got to work for it. What else?
Your business is paying itself.
Yes, I like that. So the way I put it here is involves regular work. What do I mean by regular? Like every day. Like you have to do work. If you're not doing it, then it's fallen. Okay? Could be your W-2, could be a 1099, but it's your regular work. It classifies as earned income on your tax return. Everybody get that? If you don't do your taxes, start. Okay? We're talking about, there's a lot of starting today. If you're not doing taxes, that's the one you should start. Even if you're 1099, do your taxes. All right, great learning opportunities. Why did I put this here? Guys, if you're on this left side and you're at $0, the best thing you have is to get out there and start learning and let someone else pay you for it. Get a job to do property management. Get a job to do work for a real estate agent, right? Get a job to do work for them. And you can learn the business while getting paid for it. Hello? Great. It's not technically investing. Why is that? Technically investing is you are putting money in. You're getting ownership of something, or your money is getting returns, okay? Active, typically you don't have ownership in that. Does that make sense? All right. You're trading your time for your money. That is kind of the ultimate definition of that, active, okay? You're out there, you're doing it, you're moving, you're shaking, all right? Passive, ownership in the assets, so like rental properties. Other people are doing the work. So the more passive you get, the less daily activity, daily work you are doing. Does that make sense? So if you want to do more passive, then you got to get more people to do the work for you, or invest in things that don't need daily work. Okay? So you guys should be thinking about, where does this fit in for you? Where does this fit in for your chart? Okay, where do you want to be? So, and then I put the IRS definitions for this passive income would be the unearned income. That's your rental portfolio or your partnerships. And then your portfolio income, which I know is confusing, which is why I put it there. Interest on your money, so private lending is actually portfolio income. And then capital gains actually falls into that. Disclaimer time. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm I'm not any of those things. And you should seek one for professional advice. All right. Everything I share is like our experience, but again, your tax situation is going to be different. Okay. So let's name some of these. Who wants to shout out some active roles in real estate investing? Go. Flipper. What else? Come on. What? Wholesaler. All right, we got that one. What? Realtor? Do-it-yourself contractor. That's one. What else? Investor. Who said lawyer? Is that what you said? Lawyer? Could be. Bishop. Property manager. Somebody said that up here. Did you say that? Flipper, we already got that one. This one you're never going to get because I kind of made it up. Creative deal finder. It encompasses a lot. It's that person that is willing to spend the time and the energy to put these deals together that most of us, especially like the quick flippers, are like, there's too much hair on that deal. There's like too many errors. You got to find 6 people that, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got to find 6 people that don't live in this state. One's left the country. Like, that's the creative deal finder, right? You're putting a lot of effort into that. It doesn't cost money to do that. You just got to find people usually. But anyway, so that's active. It's work. It's time. All right. What would be some more passive roles in investing? Rentals. Yep. Private money lending. Yes. REITs. That's a good one. Investor. I think I have that on there. So you have the partnerships and then funds. So REITs are like joining the fund. Like you're putting money into a fund that's run by Wall Street or local fund managers and stuff like that. And they have parameters where they put the money. So that's what that is. All right. So there's obviously more, but these are some of the ones. So I'm going to get you guys to split your, so it's just like politics. All right. We've kind of talked a little bit about this. I don't want to give you a red or blue, so green or yellow maybe. I don't know. Active. Who is going and needs to, wants to, ready to, or currently active role in real estate investing? Yes. Awesome. Y'all tired? Is this late? You're like, I'm busy. Active people, or you're working hard, especially if you got another job. All right, who's my passive people? Passive. Yep, we're going passive. Getting passive. I love it. All right. Can you be both? Should you be both? Absolutely. Is it okay not to be both? It's totally fine to be specialized and do one thing. But if you can do both, do both. If you want to do both, do both. All right? Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of these. The big 4. I'm going to just dive into them. Wholesaling. Wholesaling is legal or not legal in South Carolina? Not legal. We still hear it. People are still doing it. My Investor Lift account has never been busier, so it's still happening. I'm just going to give this to you guys. I don't want to be the first one to get in trouble. I don't want to be the one that they call in front of the judge. So just be aware and be careful. Understand what you're doing. Talk to an attorney. But the premise of wholesaling is still there. And you can still be a deal finder where you go find sellers, find properties that are available at a discount and put a partnership together. Find someone else that will buy it with you. Yeah. It's always, so what people know, the way people identify and call it wholesaling is you get it under contract and then you sell that contract to other end buyers. The only way to sell the contract is to let buyers know that you have a contract. And the only way to do that is to tell people about it, which is advertising. So it's always been that way. It's always been against the law. But what they did is they wrote it down and they highlighted it, they defined the terms, kind of like that, what is it, define the relationship, the DTR? That's what they did. So that's what happened, and so it just put a spotlight on it. and they put penalties with it. And so attorneys won't do it, most of them. All right, so you're selling the deal to another buyer. Right now, I wouldn't be out there publishing that. Our Facebook group, it's a closed group. We have to let you in. I'd like to say we got some cool people, but I don't know. We might have somebody that might tell on you, so be careful. But if you get together and if you find the deal and you can partner with somebody, or you know them because you met them in this room, now you have prior acknowledgement, prior communication. Y'all could be partners now. And that's not advertising. If I came in with a deal and I went across the room, I said, hey, you know what? You're a pretty cool guy. You want to do this deal together? I think that's okay. All right. So just don't be the wholesaler. You don't need much money to start. Why did I say much money? Do you need any money? You need a little bit of money, okay? Even if you're just door knocking, even if you don't pay for postcards and you don't pay for Deal Finder data or PropStream, if you are just walking around knocking on doors, you probably paid for gas, right? So you can totally do this for super cheap, but there's probably a little something. And I just want to be straight up and honest with y'all. Like, you got to have something. But if you don't have any cash, like if you can't pay for any advertising or marketing, then you're going to have to spend all your time and all your energy. Okay. Which means phone calls, door knocking, whatever it takes to get in front of people, sellers. Totally an active job. Very, very active. Wholesaling is super active. Being a deal finder, dispoing the deals, all of that. Very time consuming. It can be very stressful, but it's a job. Okay. And it can be lucrative. Cool. Anybody here that's going wholesaling? I know we had a few. Somebody was telling me about it earlier. You're wholesalers. Are y'all afraid? I'm not going to tell on you. There we go, Ted. Ted's my man. There you go. I knew we got some in here. All right. So January's meetup is wholesaling. Wholesaling 101. It's how to do it in today's market. That's what the class is going to be on. And we're going to talk about what happened in the whole year that law was around. I'm going to get some data. I'm going to see what the attorneys have done and said and where they've changed. Okay. So that's January's meetup. Make sure it's on your calendar. All right, fix and flip. Not sim-active job. That's a semi-active job. I don't know how that happened. But the premise is you buy it at a discount. You're buying a house. You're actually buying it. You own it. You are going to take that asset. You're going to fix it up, put a little bit of cash, a little bit of capital, make some repairs, and make it more appealing to the masses, the retail buyer. That is ultimately what you're trying to do, is making it more appealing to a retail buyer, so that because they pay the most, and you're going to sell it to them. Okay, a lot of hands-on work. You can get out there and start swinging hammers, right? We've got some hammer swingers right here. They love to get out there. That yellow door is still yellow, but it's fine. But I love it. I love it. So you can get out there and do all the work yourself, or you can get more passive and hire more people. However you want to do that. The cool thing with fixing and flipping is you can affect your profit by how much you learn, your skill, your connections, right? Negotiating with the sellers, negotiating with your contractors, okay? Negotiating with your agents. No, they want to hear that. So negotiations can help you. Learning what to fix and what not to fix, what to upgrade, what not to upgrade, right? Granite countertops can be $35 a square foot or $75 a square foot. What are we going to put in our flips? 35. What do they put on HGTV? 75. The people that don't have this knowledge, the people that didn't come to class today, what are they going to put in? 75, right? And you just made $3,000 more than they did. Okay? So that's fix and flipping. Who in here is fix and flippers? Yes, we got some fix and flippers. I love it. I love it. That's our March meetup. March meetup. Put it on your calendar. Okay? I'm going to teach these classes. We go deep in on those classes. We do this for free for you guys. Anybody that's here that's trying to get that specialized knowledge, get on that road to your business. All right. We're going to keep doing these for you because this is what gets you started. Could be your next step. All right. Rental property owner. The goal here is to find, and in the beginning, Michelle and I, we were all cash flow. All we wanted, if I can buy it cheap and I can rent it out, that's all I cared about. Now that, I'm 40, I'm losing some hair, y'all, I want quality, some quality tenants is way better than just that cash flow, okay? We want people that are going to stick around for a while, that aren't going to tear up the houses. So looking for quality properties, providing safe, secure, and affordable housing. What is that? Why did I put that in quotes? Who knows what's affordable anymore, right? Like, it's changing, it's ever changing. What you're looking for is housing that fits the market. Okay? This market is changing. It'll be different next year, but if you can rent it out safe, secure, and profitable, and it's within that market rate, you're good. Okay? And if you can be a little less than market rate, you're better off. Okay? Because you can get those good tenants that won't leave because you got a good price. Okay? Builds wealth over time. Y'all, real estate, as you just said over here, if you hold on to it for a couple of years, that appreciation will start to stack up, and you can keep appreciating, or you can sell it and start over, or invest in something else, 1031, or put it into a fund, whatever you want to do. That wealth grows over time when you own the asset over time. All right, so semi-passive. We talked about rental properties, kind of getting on that passive side now. All right, a little bit less hours per week that we're using or focused on this. Okay, that is our August meetup next year. So in August, right here, that's what we'll be talking about. Okay, and I think last July I talked about that, which is in the Learning Center. So if y'all can't wait that long, you can go there and watch the recording. All right, now we're going way over to the passive side. All right, wait, I forgot to ask. Who's my rental property owners? Going either now or headed that way. Nice, I love it. All right. Private lender or member of the funds, you put your money into something. This is way on the passive side. Now, there are some private lenders that like to go check out the house. They want to ride by. They want to see your investment. They want to see the work you've done. That's kind of on them. That's just their curiosity, but they're not affecting the deal. They're not working on the deal. Okay, so private lenders are passive. They put the money in, and they're going to get interest back. Their money is doing the work, not them. All right, so that's where you get to earn interest while you sleep. Isn't that the best? Everybody's seen the I like the Corona commercials where they're like sitting on the beach and they just have a Corona and an umbrella. That's what you can do when you're passive. Totally passive. You don't have to be here. You've got to have capital to get started. But once you get into this realm, you don't look back. You don't look back. You actually end up making more money than when you're hustling and you're active. It's a strange phenomenon. I actually had a call with one of my mentors today that was like, dude, the people that leave the fix and flip world behind, they take that same capital and they end up earning more because they don't have to keep churning. There's a lot more work, a lot more bills when you're active. Okay. So that is our September meetup. All right. Put it on the calendar if that's where you're headed. Anybody there? Private lenders want to put your money in the funds. We're getting there. All right. We're trying. We're getting there. Good. So what we want you to be doing right now is kind of figuring out your spot. 2025, it rhymes with thrive. Why not make it so? Why not use today to get started so that you hit 25 on a roll? You hit with momentum. You know where you're going. You know what you want to do. You know what your next steps are. All right? We start focusing on your investments. If you don't have the cash right now, start working towards it. All right? So what is your next move? That is the question. That is, hopefully we've teased out some options, some opportunities for you today. There's many more. If you think that, hey, I'm close, but I'm just not real sure, I'm torn between two, let me know. I think Nicole has a little QR code. You can jump on my calendar and we'll talk through it, because I have this PowerPoint and we'll go through it together. All right? But ultimately, if you know where you are today and where you want to get to, then the only thing holding you back from getting there is taking the next step.
Thanks for listening to the REI Deal Finders podcast. You can find out more and apply to be a part of the REI Deal Finder community at reidealfinders.club.